Caffeine is probably the #1 research supplement for a multitude of performance benefits. It can improve endurance performance. This also includes aerobic as well as anaerobic. And a meta-analysis by Southwood et al. In 2018 shows that the main reason for this is it can delay fatigue by acting upon your central nervous system. And this links with reducing the perceived exertion and muscle pain. So for example, here at Boxing Science we use RPE during some of our training sessions in terms of how hard that session is. And it's been shown it can reduce that. For example, if on a hard intensity treadmill or a curve session and you're at an RPE of 9 and 10, if you have a caffeine supplement before it, you can work at that same intensity which feels less. So for example, you might give it an RPE of a 7 or an 8. Why I personally like to use a caffeine supplement during a training camp is it can rescue training sessions. And by that we mean is if you have a lack of sleep, which can come with dieting quite heavily, but also with family life with young kids, it can almost help your training session if you are quite sleep deprived. Also, if you are in a low energy intake, such as low carbohydrate intake, which comes with making weight, you are likely to have less energy. The caffeine can basically help make up for that, so make you feel a bit more alert, and it can also improve your training sessions. And as we know, it's really important to train at high intensity, so then you can take that into your boxing fight. So the first supplement for our performance is whey protein. So in terms of the benefits, so it's been shown that whey protein specifically increases muscle protein synthesis. It can aid the increase of lean muscle mass as well as reduce the effects of aging, and it's highly satiating, so this means it helps you feel full, and that's due to a possible secretion of incretin hormones in the gut. And saying this is being practical and efficient to use, so it's easy to have a whey protein drink following a training session, say if you've got 2 or 3 hours before your next meal. So it's going to get that recovery in there in terms of increasing that muscle protein synthesis in that short time window. And also it's going to help you feel full before your next meal. In terms of recommendations, we recommend 20 to 40 gram consumed post-training, or it can be used as a snack during the day. So in terms of, as we've already listed on the benefits, having whey protein can increase muscle protein synthesis. And the study by McNaughton et al. In 2016 showed that consuming 40 gram of protein, which is double than the usual recommended amount of 20 gram, following a whole body resistance training session, increased muscle protein synthesis greater than 20 gram. The reason for this is because of the whole body resistance exercise stimulating a lot of muscle protein from all the body and muscle parts used. In terms of reducing the effects of aging, even though we may not think this is quite appropriate for boxers, it has been shown that some boxers who struggle to make weight, in terms they're always cutting weight, have higher levels of osteoporosis in terms of low bone mineral density. So if that protein from the whey protein can also help protect that area in terms of high muscle and bone strength. So it's been shown to increase short duration, high intensity exercise. It can increase lean muscle mass indirectly, and it can potentially improve symptoms following traumatic brain injury. So in terms of increasing short duration, high intensity exercise, in terms of creatine, it increases intramuscular creatine stores. And this means it can replenish ATP at a greater rate. So as we know, ATP is the main energy system used for high intensity exercise, and having creatine phosphate in abundance in the muscle mean it is easier to replete that. So in terms of high intensity exercise, you can be able to repeat and go again. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, in terms of directly and indirectly. So in terms of directly, that means it has an acute effect. So almost you take a supplement and within a certain time frame of the same day, you're going to have a quick direct. In terms of indirectly, it means over time. So creatine over time, over a minimum of 6 week period, can help increase lean muscle mass. And this is because basically you're able to recover in terms in between training sessions, and you can have more intramuscular creatine within your muscles, So therefore that's going to increase that energy system, and it's going to increase energy within your muscles in terms of lifting more weight, in terms of getting stronger or running at high intensities. And that over time will help build lean muscle mass along with a high protein intake. Creator et al. In 2017 did a review on creatine for the ISSN, and basically they've shown that there is potentially evidence coming out that improves symptoms following traumatic brain injury. The reason for this is 95% of creatine is stored within muscle, but 5% can be stored within the brain and other organs. And following creatine monohydrate supplementation, it's been shown to increase brain phosphocreatine stores by 20 to 30%. Traits, it's also known as beetroot juice, but you can also get it in other foods such as green leafy vegetables such as spinach and rocket. So it's been shown to have a lot of benefits. It's been shown to improve muscular performance. It's been shown to improve aerobic endurance, improve high intensity intermittent running, and also it's been shown to reduce muscle soreness. So the reasons for the performance benefits is it can increase vasodilation. So basically that helps increase oxygen during exercise so you can perform at a higher intensity. So it vasodilates a lot of blood vessels, improves oxygen delivery to those muscles to perform at higher intensity. Therefore, you can improve in terms of force production, and you can improve a lot of aerobic endurance adaptations. In terms of reduction of muscle soreness, so it's really high in phytochemicals as well as dietary nitrates. So as well as that vasodilation you're getting from the dietary nitrates, you are also getting a lot of kind of anti-inflammatory and phytochemical foods such as polyphenols that can reduce muscle soreness. In terms of performance benefits, you need a minimum of 500 milligrams of dietary nitrates took 150 minutes pre-exercise/competition. You can get this through food, but it's the equivalent of consuming 200 grams of spinach or beetroot. So as we said earlier in the slides, that it can be practical and efficient to use. Having a small beetroot juice shot is a lot more practical than heating 200 grams of beetroot. In terms of when it peaks is around 2 to 3 hours following ingestion. This is why it's important you take it 2 or 3 hours before you commence exercise. It's known that well-trained athletes may require a high dosage and a longer supplement loading protocol of 3 to 8 days. And this is because they have higher antioxidant pathways because of having a greater training status. Therefore, it may be wise to load this for a few days, especially before a fight. BETA-ALANINE supplementation. So the benefits, it can increase high intensity performance lasting longer than 60 seconds. It can augment force production as it increases calcium sensitivity within the muscle. And also it can improve repeated sprint endurance. So beta-alanine is an intramuscular buffer. So it increases carnosine within your muscles. And this also means that it can limit hydrogen accumulation. Hydrogen within the muscle has been shown to increase fatigue. So if we increase muscle carnosine stores by beta-alanine, you can buffer hydrogen at higher rates. So basically you can recover from high intensity exercise. In terms of recommendations, we recommend 6 grams per day, took in 4 equal doses of 1.5 gram. This is best took with food because it reduces paresthesia. So a main side effect of beta-alanine is it can cause tingling sensations. And a lot of boxers and athletes generally don't like this, especially when you're making weight, because you will be consuming less food and therefore having less insulin rises within your blood. You are more likely to feel these side effects. But a recent study in 2020 actually showed that 4 weeks of 6 grams per day followed by 4 weeks of just 1.2 grams per day, or they called it a maintenance dose, still had performance benefits. Therefore, it may be wise at the start of camp to have 6 grams per day and then reduce that coming towards the fight as your food and calories are becoming lower. So therefore, you're going to have less side effects of paresthesia, but also you're still likely to have a performance benefit.